Good night and welcome to Benalmádena first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. Pedro Sánchez announced on Tuesday that the lockdown will be lifted at different times in every region, depending on the health conditions. Bars, restaurants, terraces, small shops and hotels could reopen from May 11.
The easing of Spain's lockdown restrictions will be gradual and coordinated, but not the same all over the country. The progress to a new normal will go through 4 phases, each lasting a minimum of 2 weeks. The process could be complete by the end of June, but dates weren't guaranteed and small details still need to be announced. Each province or island will go through the phases at different speeds according to their individual conditions, which include the capacity of their health services to deal with new cases of COVID-19. The process begins with Phase 0, which starts with the permission for children to be taken out for walks. It came into force completely on May 4th, when some businesses that operate by appointment, such as hairdressers, began to offer individual services. Phase 1, which will be in effect in all provinces that comply with certain conditions by 11 May, allowing the opening of some small businesses and outdoor terraces of bars and restaurants with clear restrictions of up to 30% occupancy. For the moment, 4 small islands that have shown no recent COVID-19 cases, like El Hierro in the Canaries and Formentera in Baleares, are allowed to jump ahead and start Phase 1 on May 4th. Security and Commerce Councilman Javier Marín spoke recently on the reopening of businesses.
Ante la reapertura al público de establecimientos y locales.
With the reopening to the public of establishments and premises in the plan towards the new normality, specifically during Phase 0 of preparation for de-escalation, I want to talk about what we are going to find in local establishments and shops. To begin with, I want you to know that shops are opening whenever it is in a place of less than 400 square meters or it is not in a shopping center. They must make an appointment with the clients to guarantee that there is only one worker for each client. In addition, the attention must be individualized, with the proper physical separation between persons, if we cannot have displays or protective screens. In addition, the opening hours for people over 65 must be preferent and within the time bands in which they can go outside. On the other hand, local collections can be established to guarantee that there are no crowds. Also, I would like to warn you that this placement can only be made within the municipality. Only if there is a service that is not available in the municipality will it be possible to go out the borderlands.
Large shopping centers will be excluded in this phase to avoid crowds, and special timetables will be introduced for the over 60s in shops and businesses. Hotels and tourist accommodation will be able to reopen in this phase, but not their communal areas. Religious services will also be permitted with maximum capacity reduced to a third for church premises. Phase 2, the intermediary stage, should begin on May 25th, with bars and restaurants being able to open up their doors spaces, but only for table services with capacity restrictions. Cultural events will be permitted with fewer than 50 people indoor spaces and fewer than 400 outdoors, and all seat. People will be able to travel to their holiday homes provided they are in the same province. The third phase, which will allow even greater movement, would start on June the 8th. There was no clear information given as to when international travel might be allowed again, with the government preferring to wait for an European agreement.
Benalmádena City Council approved the consideration of tourist employment as of public utility and social interest for the municipality, with the votes in favor of all groups except the extreme right party Vox.
During the April plenary session held last Thursday by video conference, a motion was approved by the government team for the consideration of tourist employment as of public utility or social interest in Benalmádena. The initiative had the votes in favor of the councillors of PSOE, Izquierda Unida, PP and Ciudadanos, and the vote against Vox.
Considerar el empleo turístico
I think it was an important thing to do, something that we had not done so far, but that in the current context of economic crisis derived from the pandemic, it was even more necessary. What will this allow us? You already know that in the basis regime law and in certain legislation of this country, that which is considered of public utility or social interest have a differential treatment on how to establish lines of aid in order to protect these sectors, or how you can apply to public aid implemented by other administrations.
En el ámbito del fomento de la protección de estos sectores o cómo se puede concurrir a ayudas públicas puestas en marcha por otras administraciones.
The situation caused by the COVID-19 pandemic is having serious repercussions in the global economy, being especially hard with the business fabric related to tourism and leisure. The consistory is aware that, after the lifting of the state of alarm, the entire tourist sector will be terribly affected by the restrictions that the health emergency has imposed, and considered its obligation to participate to it, establishing a regulatory framework that allows them to assist from the public administration the main industry of the municipality, tourism. Far from being limited to a declaration of intentions, with this motion the government team makes a priority the main economic activity of Benalmádena, protecting the creation and maintenance of tourist employment in the municipality, putting all the tools and resources of the local administration to it. Considering tourist employment as a public utility or social interest, will allow the municipality to create the appropriate setting to grant public aid or facilitate access to those that are called by other administrations.
The government team approved a point modification of the urbanism plan to set the density of direct urban land and avoid substandard housing, a model that has caused authentic urbanistic aberrations in Carranque or New Torrequebrada.
Benalmádena's City Council April's plenary session was held on Thursday via video conference, a circumstance forced by the state of alarm decree. During the course of the session, a specific modification of elements in the general plan of the urban planning was initially approved to control urban land density. This modification had the support of the councillors from the government team, the abstention of citizens and Vox, and the vote against from PP.
Supone pues dar respuesta.
This action means responding to certain sectors of Benalmádena society that ask us to bet on sustainability, something that I personally believe in and with which this government team is involved. We want a society that respects the environment, and for this reason it was necessary to put limits to the growth of Benalmádena. Not any type of housing is sustainable for this city, and in this sense we want to fight substandard housing, which are those that have less than 40 square meters of surface. We do not want this kind of model for Benalmádena. We want a sustainable city, a city where you can live in a dignified way and where underhousing does not exist.
Benalmádena needs to stipulate the model of city it wants for the municipality and control growth or sustainable development. The government team acknowledged that it would have been ideal the development of a new plan, but they do not want to wait 10 years now to set conditions by law, giving the chance to repeat urban aberrations such as those that already exist in the environment like Carranque or Nueva Torrequebrada. The government team wants to stop certain urban excesses and establish clear limits for the urban density of each population nucleus. They can stop the underhousing phenomena. Benalmádena was hit hard by urban excesses, which is why we have sent it necessary to determine a control in the PEGO to review strict compliance with the density set in the current plan, explained the Urbanism Councilwoman María Isabel Ruiz. The initial approval of the innovation of the PEGO has been carried out, and now a period of public information will be open in which the citizens can contribute their proposals for improvement or allegations. Ruiz has regretted that the Popular Party has frontally opposed an improvement in our current plan, which would only bring sustainability and put a brake on substandard housing and urban excesses.
The student participation on the online classes and activities of the municipal courses and workshops, as well as the Music and Dance Municipal School, comes up to more than 1,500 students, proving this initiative to be a success from the education area.
Education Councilwoman Elena Galán announced last week the student participation number of the online classes and activities offered at the municipal workshops and the Music and Dance Municipal School. Galán recalled that due to the situation of confinement, a virtual educational project based on online classes began on March 17, and that after the holiday break, classes resumed as the situation didn't change. It is estimated that the participation of students in this program amounts to 1,727 people. Among its educational offer, we can find academic courses such as English with 217 students, Spanish for foreigners with 108, or computer science with 88. Also workshops such as painting with 68 students, crafts with 50, or teacher with 62. For its part, at the Music and Dance Municipal School, the most popular courses are guitar with 156 students, piano with 138, and Spanish dance with 251. The councilwoman thanked the wide response from the students who value the work done, and there are many signs of satisfaction on both adults and parents of the small students, who stressed that in her delegation they feel very proud to continue providing this training service, and they thank the confidence that they show. All the teachers are putting a great effort, availability, and dedication so that we continue to have quality training and to be able to fulfill as much as possible the objectives set, Galán has valued. Each teacher carries out their educational program through technological resources such as video calls, YouTube, or WhatsApp, adapting to the possibilities of the students. A virtual training project that will surely have a greater development in the near future. Likewise, the Mentor Classroom is being kept active to register the course offer as the UNED Telematic Classroom to provide any information that is needed.
During the press conference held after the meeting between Pedro Sánchez and the leaders of the autonomous communities, Moreno announced that he asked the president for time flexibility in the children's working time as well as a deconfinement by sanitary districts.
The Andalusian president, Juanma Moreno, asked Pedro Sánchez, the Spanish government president, for flexibility in the hours for minors to work, since during the stipulated time from 12 to 7 in the afternoon, high temperatures can be registered, especially on inland areas. He also insisted on addressing the deconfinement by health districts or municipalities, stressing that Andalucía will propose as a reference a contagious rate of less than 10 people per 100,000 inhabitants in the last 14 days. Moreno expressed his desire to pay tribute to the victims that the pandemic has left in Andalucía. For this reason, he will propose to the Governing Council the declaration of the official mourning in Andalucía from May the 7th to 13th. That particular day marks 2 months since the first death from the virus in the community was confirmed, a figure that today rises to 1,256 lives lost by the pandemic. The Andalusian president also asked Sánchez about the national plan for the rescue of the tourism industry, which he proposed 2 weeks ago, also showing concern for the hospitality sector. On the other hand, it has specified that the tourism, hospitality, and catering sector have been included as a preferred sector for aid to the self-employed, and has announced that 6 large productive sectors will benefit from a new measure that will be approved by next Wednesday. 51 million euros will be added to the 56 already underway as collateral, so that the self-employed have access to put up 600 million euros of financial liquidity. The novelty is that the cost of the guarantee is reduced to 0 to facilitate access to these grants. In addition to the tourism sector, these 6 preferred productive sectors are agri-food, commerce, the cultural, educational and artistic industry, scientific and transport industrial sector, and construction. Likewise, it has announced that they will add new lines of microcredit for the self-employed with less demands to facilitate access to them. Moreno has also informed about the request for information from Sánchez about the deconfinement plan for public employees to know when and how they should be incorporated into their jobs in person, what functions may be carried out from now on by teleworking, among other issues.
And these are today's headlines. Spain begins their lockdown de-escalating program. Tourist employment will be considered of public interest. Benalmádena puts a brake on substandard housing. Great success on the municipal school online courses. Moreno asks for flexibility on children's working hours. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with skies with intervals of medium and high clouds without ruling out weak and scattered precipitation in the first half of the day, more likely on the mountains. Temperatures without changes or minimum in descent on the interior. Southern winds more intense on the interior during the first half of the day with a strong gust. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profiles on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night, enjoy the weekend, and remember, stay at home.